Mantles of power. So, in human societies, there are often, almost always, positions of power over other people. Now, in some cases, that's passed down through a lineage of kings or a lineage of chiefs. In some areas, that's a president or a prime minister, or even, just a minister, a representative, a police officer. These positions of power over other people. That's what I'm calling a mantle of power. And we've had them for a very, 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 very long time. Not every society has had these, and I think that actually, if you look at more tribal arrangements, there was often an elder or a group of elders who did determine the direction of society. And you could call that a mantle of power. I think you could. I also think that at that Zoom level, at that organizational level, at that community size level, that may be appropriate when the people making the decisions know all of the people who are impacted by those decisions and care about them, and their position is conditional on continuing to care about everyone in the group. If it's perceived that the chief doesn't give a crap about us, that chief's not going to be able to lead very well in a small group. It's qualitatively similar, and also, well, it's qualitatively similar to what we've got now, where we've got people that have been placed on top of tall stumps, and they've been told that they've got the right to make rules for everybody, or enforce rules, because now we've got the cop class is new, relatively new. Chiefs, I don't think, had police officers. I think they had community members and trusted middle-aged men that could keep the younger guys focused on good things. I don't know. You can think about that a lot, but the mantle of power thing is a big problem in our society. We have these mantles of power that people tend to believe give a subset of us the power to make rules for everybody, and through proxies enforce those rules on everybody. And because of the system, we're told we're really not allowed to buck the system, right? The system exists for itself. It needs to maintain its own authority. That is ultimately the purpose of many systems, when you boil right down to it, is propagation of the system, right? If the system fails, then the system is no good anymore, so the system can't fail. I'm not suggesting it's got its own consciousness, but it behaves like an organism that is trying to gain or keep dominance over the people that interact with the system. These mantles of power are spells, I guess. They're illusions. Illusions is better than spells. It's the Great Oz projected on a screen. That's the mantle of power. And when it comes right down to it, it's just some dude pulling levers in alignment with his own interests, not yours. And we've got this problem where we've vaulted people to high status in our society and given them, foisted on them what should have been our own responsibility for so many things in life. And that's what's messing us up right now, is we've got these positions of power that are so powerful that every time we have a political ceremony, half the people are scared of what the other side is going to do to them. And it switches back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, just tossing the scepter back and forth between Team Red and Team Blue, or whatever you got in your country. You'll notice these party systems, the same agendas eventually get pushed over time. There might be minute differences, but ultimately the powerful get served and we get shafted. That's just how that works. And our belief in those mantles, because we're scared of taking our own responsibility, right? So I'm going to say something very hostile. You are responsible for your own safety, not the government, not a watchdog organization, not your neighbor, not anyone else. You are responsible for your own safety. To outsource the care of your safety to other people is an abdication of your responsibility. When you say, I don't want to own a gun, let that guy hold the gun and he'll just use it for good things, you are shirking your responsibility. It's still your responsibility, but you're trying to push it off on someone else. When you say, well, yeah, I own my gun, I'm responsible for my safety and my family's safety, but out there we need someone chasing those criminals down. That's also an obfuscation of your own responsibility. This isn't a partisan issue. It's the nature of erecting political scaffolding, is that it shirks responsibility for a lot of things. And what it also does is it tyrannizes all of us all the time. These systems say, you shall obey or else. You shall support this system. This system is paramount. If you do not feed the system will eat you. Right? You can look at all of the in particular the government systems, but when you look at the corporate systems, they're not much different. In fact, the amount of daylight between the corporate and the state is not there. It really isn't. The people who own the corporations also own your government. When the government is doing something that the people don't want, it's at the behest of the people who run the corporations too. It's all the same thing. The difference is the mind job that's been done on you to think that these government institutions are in any way legitimate, in any way right to exist in the first place. It's a pickle. There are a lot of people in the world. We got a lot of strangers running around, people we don't know, people we don't trust. And yet the control systems that we erected to defend ourselves from those scary things out there are in fact tyrannizing us in the name of safety. And people don't want to question the whole system because people are familiar with the system, and people hate to delve into the unfamiliar. It's uncomfortable. Believe me, I know it's uncomfortable. When you make that leap from safe and secure in your prison cell to free in the wide open world, it's scary. And we haven't practiced. People don't even go camping anymore. It's crazy. People like to stay indoors and play their video games where it's safe in their little cells. Pretending all the while to be a badass superhero or a badass special ops guy or something like that. It's very interesting, but we prefer our little safe cells, and It is a prison, and a lot of us want out, and we're being held in here by those who refuse to own that they are being irresponsible with their demands on other people. They're being irresponsible with taking care of their own business. Uh, Taking care of their own responsibilities, right? You're responsible for your own health. You're responsible for your own safety. You're responsible for your own education. You're responsible for the education of other people. Of course, you can get help with all of these things voluntarily by making deals with people, but in our society, we've said no, what we're going to do is we're going to tyrannize everyone and dole out benefits as we see fit. Keep paying your taxes. That's our system. And it's all predicated on this belief in power over other people, that, it's right to have a ruler over everybody, dictating how things go. And that ruler is unaware of who you are and what's important to you, and really fundamentally is incapable of caring about you. And I'm not even talking about the sociopathy at the top. I'm talking about, how many people can you actually give your time, attention, and trust to? That's a small group. And no one put in a position of leadership can look after a group our size. It just won't work. It's impossible. So what we've got is insane. It's not fit for purpose. It's tyrannical. It's hostile. It's murderous. Our system is simultaneously a very human thing to create and a very anti-human creation. We want to organize things. We want to sort things. We want to create predictability. We want to create safety. We want to be secure in our stuff. We want all these things, and so we erected systems to try to keep these things for ourselves at ever decreasing and decreasing effort on our part. Just vote. It'll all take care of itself. Yeah, I'll go get a job to put food on the table, and I'll vote, and that's me done. I've done my part. I voted. That's lazy. That's so lazy. Maybe you'll even get very worked up about it, heated about it, and advocate very strongly for what you think is right, and campaign for the politician that you think is going to make everything better, at least less worse. And all you're doing is trying to get someone voted in, and that voted in person doesn't give a crap about us. Can't. Like, cognitively incapable of caring for this many people. And more than likely, also a very charismatic sociopath or psychopath to win a popularity contest like that, right? So we're putting the worst people in a position that shouldn't exist, that is powerful over people. And it's being done at the top level. It's being done at the town level. It's being done at the, county sheriff and city police chief level, and even the deputy and beat cop level. Like, these people think they have power over you because they've got shiny badges and titles, and they've got, politicians' scribbles of paper telling them they're right to hurt you. I think it's Charlie Chaplin. I hope I don't butcher this. He said something like, "You only need power when you want to do harm." For everything else, love is enough. I think that's very true in the political sphere for sure, where if you're trying to give powers to people, it's because uh, those people you feel need to be able to exert power over other people. That's fundamentally what that is. You need to be able to harm other people because of what you want. Now, I think that that's a pretty pessimistic way of looking at it, but I don't think it's inaccurate. We can say we still want these systems, but we got to know what we're talking about. These systems are violence incarnate. These systems are the tyranny of your neighbor and you and your children. These systems are anti-human. And these mantles of power then pass from politician to politician are abuses and insults to the human soul. Um, have a good one.